everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni, and I'm here for another episode of the ways that God has blessed me and taken care of me since Bill died. And again, I'm just doing this to help me to be reframed positively for the next couple months leading up to the anniversary of his death, because I'm just really afraid that I could end up in some deep depression, and I don't want to go there, so I'm being proactive. So what I've done is I've brainstormed and cut up a bunch of pieces of paper that talk about ways that God has blessed me and taken care of me, and I'm just drawing them out randomly. I'm still adding to this, by the way. I think of things and I put it in here. So I'm just drawing them out randomly. I'm not prepared for what I'm going to talk about. Okay, the lady God had at the vet when Eli was put down. Oh, wow. Okay. I may cry for this one, you guys. But I've been pretty good for the last few. So Eli was Bill's dog before we met. And Eli is super special. First of all, he is the best dog I've ever known in my entire life. And I have had a lot of really good dogs that I've really, really loved. But Eli was just like super well behaved. He was a long-haired border collie, so he was bigger than what you usually think of as a border collie. And he was very, very loving. And Eli and I had kind of a relationship before Bill and I did, I think. Bill's profile name on the dating site that we met on was Mr. Eli, M-R-E-L-I, which I thought was Bill's last name, Morelli, for a long time. And I didn't even put it together when he told me this dog was Eli. But anyway, so he told me about Eli like right from the beginning when we were just emailing and not talking on the phone. And I just loved Eli. I knew that he and I would get along really well. And when Bill came and picked me up from the airport and brought me to his house, and you know, we already knew that we were going to get married and stuff at that point, and we were going to get married like 3 weeks later, in fact. I walked into the house and Eli came over to me and we were like best buds right away. And it was just so fun. And yeah, and he slept with us until he got too old. He was having a hard time getting into the bed. And he was just a really, really good dog. So when Bill died, he had just left on a trip, and Eli was kind of used to Bill, you know, going away for a week when he'd go up to Maryland to work on getting the house up there, you know, sold and everything. And so he was kind of used to Bill doing that. But he, so when Bill died, Eli definitely sensed that something was wrong, you know, and I don't know if he actually sensed that Bill had died or if he, you know, sensed that there was something wrong with me. I don't know. But he was pretty depressed, but he wasn't, you know, he had expected Bill to be gone for a week. I mean, he definitely understood when Bill was going on a trip, and he was fine, you know, with me at home and everything. And so he was kind of his normal self, but he was being a little difficult, which was very unusual for him. And, you know, then we were all, me and the animals, we were all depressed. And, or the animals and I, we were all depressed for quite a while after Bill died. And, you know, Penny, our big Labrador and something else, she was a rescue dog, you know, animal shelter dog. She would come and try to hug me. It was really cute. And she'd try to put her arms around my neck and stuff. And the cats were definitely depressed too and everything. I mean, you know, Bill was obviously a big part of their lives as well as mine. And so it was just hard for all of us. And anyway, so Eli was 13 years old, which is like 91 years in dog age. And so he was getting old, and I was a little scared of when I had to put him to sleep, because he was kind of like all that I had left of Bill, and so I was a little scared about that. But eventually, I think it was in November, he stopped eating, you know, and I was forcing food down him and trying to force water into him and everything, and he got to where he wasn't peeing. And I had already been, and Bill had been before he died, forcing medicine into him, and stuff. And so it was just really hard. And he just finally got so weak, and I knew I needed to have him put down. And I probably should have had him put down earlier, but I couldn't do it. And anyway, so I took him to the vet. I managed to get him down to the truck. I had to pick him up, and he was a big, heavy dog, and I'm not super strong. But I got him into the truck, and I just sat there and cried with him for a while, and he would look at me and stuff. And I think he knew what was going to happen, and I think he was ready. And so I took him to the vet and, had him put down. And then I sat out in the waiting room and just bawled my eyes out. And this lady came over and sat by me. And, she asked me about, my dog and everything. And I told her about the accident and everything. And she was so sweet. She was just another person who was there, another patient's mama. And she was just really sweet. And it turned out that she had also been a widow. I think she was remarried, but she had been a widow also. And so, so she understood a lot of what I was going through. And she was just really, really sympathetic and very sweet. And she has grief groups at her house sometimes. And so she told me that she would let me know when she starts having one. And so it was just a blessing to meet her. It was just really, really sweet. And she's called me once since then. She hasn't started a group or anything, but she has my number, so I know that she will. But it was just that day, it was God's provision. I needed somebody to be comforting and to listen to me, because losing Eli just for myself was hard, but losing him when he was like the last thing that I really had of Bill that was living, that was like super, super, super hard. So that's the blessing of that lady who was there. All right, I love you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.